Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody can see and hear me okay. Welcome to my photo editing live stream where I edit your photos here live. And today I'll be using Photolab 4. And I'm really liking this software a lot actually. So I'll be using that today, and I have some other things installed on it, but um, a lot of the things I'll be doing you can apply to really any you can use in any photo editing software. I won't be doing anything too fancy given the time, but excuse me. So, wow, we have a whole 8 people here, it looks like. That's cool. Let's see who's here. Paul Irving, awesome. Raho, good to see you. John Allen. Oh, you sent a fisheye, John. Okay. With the 7 artists and 7.5. And Jeff Painter's here. Awesome. Good to see you, Jeff. Always good to see you. Um, let me get my screens arranged and we'll go ahead and get started. I think, yeah, we're good. Oh, hey, Leon, how are you? And Amir, good to see you. Let's see, let's I forget, control 3 maybe. Put this, yeah, I think everybody can see the screen now. Just need to see me in there. All right. Okay, so first one up today looks like Raho. And hey, Randy, how are you? Wow, it's early for you, man. I mean, you probably get up at this time all the time, but it's early to be in a stream for you, I know. Uh, okay. So this week, I should also mention, I do put my own photo out there for you guys to edit, so there's a lot of theirs to go through, and uh, I wanted to kind of do soft images this week. It didn't have to be, but that's what I requested. And, because it's an area that I talked about on my last stream that I really need to work on. I'm not very good at taking images that are soft and hazy and surreal, that has this kind of like very soft atmosphere. So I thought, what better way than to get lots of photos from you guys to look at and edit and get some practice. And I've been going through my own portfolio trying to find soft images, and surprisingly, I actually have quite a few, but I never bothered with them because they were just, not my style at all. But um, now that I'm trying to get into it, I was able to recover a few and get a few more keepers out of it. Image Writer, good to see you. Food shopping, that can wait. Yeah, I'm sure you got something in your fridge, Randy, or in your cabinet that you can chow down on. This is more important. Okay, just kidding, of course. So, yeah, so Raho sent in, I think this is Raho. Yeah, Raho sent in a nice soft image, and it's beautiful. There's not much editing need to be done here other than I think there's a little bit too much foreground, maybe a little horizon straightening, and that's about it. So let me crop in, let's stay 4:3, and we'll just split 1/3 foreground, roughly 2/3 haze. And maybe a little straightening. Right about there. We'll just convert it to a full-on black and white. And I think I could soften it a tiny bit more. Oh, that's too much. Just a little bit, because the detail down here is a little bit strong. Uh, yeah, add a white frame. And I think, honestly, I think that's all that needs, right? Uh, it's really, it was almost perfect straight out of camera. So good job, Raho. That's a beautiful image. I think definitely worth putting up or printing out, put in your album, and we can do a quick compare. I mean, you can see I didn't really do much. I think the white border helps. I don't know. I've been kind of liking white borders lately. But uh, yeah, I think that looks good. Just made it a little softer in a black and white conversion, and we're done. All right, let's see what we got here. Randy's, and let's see. Randy always sends in the best images. Wow, an E500 taken back in 2013. Holy smokes. Oh, wow, what a beautiful ship. I love big sailing boats. This is a party boat, man. Look at that. Those have got to be like a barbecue or something on the boat. Uh, cool. So let's go a little bit vintage on this. Um, I think, and I want to make it a little darker. I don't need the crop at all. It's, man, I mean, a tiny bit to the bottom left, maybe, right here. Oops. Just the center of the ship a little better. Maybe a little bit off the top. No. Let me just come down a little bit there. Okay, that looks good. And see if I bring the exposure down a tiny bit. Hi, DeMorgan, how are you? They were firing a cannon with all those people on board? Wow. I'm just gonna think it's a barbecue and everybody's out having hot dogs and hamburgers. Uh, let's soften it up a little bit. Bring in the this and let's go to, let's do black and white. No, let's not do that. Let's try sepia. Okay. And I'm just going to add, let me think here. Excuse me. Let me do glass or old paper. Let's see. I like old paper too. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Make it a little bigger. And see texture. Maybe some scratches. Okay. I think that's it for me. So there's a before and after. So basically just a slight crop, sepia, and then some other artsy fartsy stuff, right? Sepia, and because it's already pretty exposed, all I did was just lighten it a little bit in the darks. Uh, I think that'll do it. I might want to darken the top a little bit. Let me see if I can do that with cyan. Maybe blue. There. Okay, now I'm done. Great shot though, Randy, with an E500, man. That's awesome. All right, let's go to the next one. Here's one from John Follows. And thanks, Randy. I'm glad you like that. Let me see. John follows. What is this? This is a EM5 Mark III with a 12 to 45 Pro. ISO 200. Yep, that all looks good. And you zoomed all the way out to 40. Okay. This composition, though, I like the softness of it, but this is very busy down here on the bottom. So I'm not gonna keep that. Let's just do right in here. This tree is cut off a little bit too much. Let's go right in here and just crank up the sharpness, maybe back it off. Let me think. I'm going to crank it up here, then soften it just a tiny bit. Whoops, this way. Give it a little more contrast, pull in the blacks a little bit. And I think, again, black and white. There's just no need for that tiny bit of color in there. Maybe a little bit more on the blacks. I think that's it. Hey, Roberta, how are you? Let me adjust the crop a little bit. I just want to balance out the left and right sides. Yeah, that feels about right. And then a white border. Okay. Yeah, so this scene is really busy, right? Tons of branches, and then even in the foreground, uh, let me close this. If I reset this, right, you can see, you can see it's really busy from the bottom with the kind of spotty snow and grass all the way up to the top with all the branches. So this mixture of textures just didn't work for me. It just wasn't, there wasn't a consistency there that, they just didn't go together. Like they're two different colors that don't match. This is a case where I feel like the textures don't match each other, even though it's a natural scene. So that's why I kind of went to this and just kept one consistent texture of all the branches and everything, and uh, and then just soften it up a little bit so it's not so gritty. But I think this works for this image. Um, so okay, let's see what else we got. Here's one from who's this from? This is from Brookside Gardens. Okay. Wow, that's local to me. I know where that is. Are you in the photo club with me, Giga? That's cool. I thought I saw you here. Gigafish 2XO. All right. So we have one of these flowers. Yeah, I see these everywhere in our area, right? So this image here, uh, what's bothering me is this leaf over here, right? So I got to figure out a way to crop it. I like the blurry background though. Let me And what did you use here? A Sony 7M2 with an 85 millimeter. Okay. So let me go. Let me just crop this first. And I think I'm going to go vertical because I don't want this distracting leaf on the right here. Maybe, and this leaf here is a little distracting too. So let's try this. There we go. I don't know about this back corner, but let's see how this looks. No, not crazy about that. Come in a little tighter. There, we got a good diagonal here. Maybe brush this out. Let's see. This. Okay, fair enough. Color-wise, I don't want to do black and white, but I just want to desaturate a little bit. And let's put a little more contrast back in. It's a little too desaturated. Let me punch it up this way. Let me amplify this purple. And brighten it. And then we'll brighten the overall image just a tad. Okay. And then sort of my favorite lately is this white border. Let me do it inside. And I think that'll do it. So if you look at the before, this is cropped still, but the before, you know, it's just a little soft, right? Which is fine. But I wanted to kind of accentuate these flowers to kind of pop out from the rest of the greens. I mean, the color alone does that pretty well, but just I illuminated and made them a little bit brighter. And I think that works pretty well. So we'll do a quick side by side. So I didn't have to do too much. Maybe let me just desaturate a little bit. I kind of went a little too strong. And then we'll saturate these back. Yeah, that's better. So there we go. Final answer. I think that'll work. Yeah, you like the white border too, Roberto? Yeah, I mean, I might get tired of it after a week or so, but right now I'm kind of digging the white border. Okay, yeah, beautiful shot though. So I just simplified the scene down to just this group of flowers, create a diagonal. So this is in the top left thirds, bottom right thirds. Got rid of this distracting leaf on the side. Because here's the full on before, right? And this leaf was very distracting in the image. So I decided to just narrow it in. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see here from John Truman. And we have some boats. Wow, it must be low tide. Oh, okay, Giga, that's awesome. You know, I joined I belong to the 495 Beltway Photography Club. And we've gone to Brookside Gardens a couple times. But if you want to go out on a photo walk with the group, I'm usually there. Just check that out on meetup.com. We can nobody can see me. We can have a photo walk together. All right, let's see. Um, all right, yeah, there's way too much information in the scene. I want to kind of narrow it down because I like this boat right here. God, I love boats. So let me just crop in first. Well, I'm gonna apply just a quick preset. All this does is does like optical corrections and things. It doesn't and applies a little bit of contrast, but that's it. Uh, I may soften this back later. Let's do a 16 by 9 and crop in. And maybe a little more. Because I don't need all of this mud in the front. I think we can just go with what's right here. A little bit of balance. Get one more boat out. And again, I'm just a simple composition, right? 2/3 foreground, 1/3 this sky. And then I tried to put the main subject here in the bottom right thirds. So I'm always, I try not to overthink composition sometimes. Let's try a white border. All right, let's work with this color a little bit and a little bit of crop. Not crop, but tilt. The building is crooked to me. Just a little more. And oh, Music Sound Gear's here. How you doing? Let's soften the colors up now. So I feel like we need to go a little bit softer. I think a nice pastel. So I'm going to use the Portra, I think, color negative. Let's try. Oh, that's nice. ADOX color implosion. I like that. That's very pastel-y. But I was thinking like a Portra 400. Oh, that's a bit too strong. About a 160. Actually, I like that first one we did. Let me just look at one other one. No, I like this first one, this ADOX color implosion. Let's just back it off a little bit though. This way or this way. Let's add a little bit and then just soften it a tiny bit. Maybe back it off a little bit this way. And a little less contrast. Okay. I'm not sure. The color is still not quite what I want. Let me try cloudy. No, I want to go a little bit cooler. Let's try daylight again. Yeah, there we go. All right, I think that looks pretty good. So, just a quick compare. Um, so there's the before. It's cropped in, of course. Here's the after. So yeah, basically I softened it up, tried to make it a little bit more pastel-y, and then a major crop because if we go back to the original. Well, oh, this is nice, full screen, right? I think this is really nice because now we have a focus on one of the boats that kind of lead your eye into the frame. I mean, the building is a little bit strong. I probably need to do one more thing. Whoops. Let me get off this. I'm just going to do a graduated filter. Let's brighten that up. A little less contrast. Maybe a little less color too. Yeah, let's bring this up a little bit. All right. Yeah, that's a little better. This building was still a little bit too strong in the image. Um, Dang it, I lost the there. Let me let me make that a little more pronounced. Is there anything else here? Bring the highlights down. A little less color up there. All right, I'm overthinking it now. We'll just finish it here. So there's the after. There's the before and after. And then if we go full on, this was the original image. Whoops. That's the original image. It's just too busy, too many things in the foreground that is just mud and too many boats in the water. I mean, if there was some detail here, it'd be okay, but they're so tiny. So I just simplified the frame. And if we go to uh, the final image, I think that's a pretty nice edit of that. Oh, Lynn, how are you? Oh, okay, Lynn. So were you able to submit an image or not? Um, because I know I emailed you a link to directly submit your image, or you could have emailed it to me maybe, but I didn't see one from you. Oh, there's another one from John. Uh, but yeah, that makes sense that a business internet would be restricting access to live streams or something. Um, okay, John, let's see. I think it's really nice and soft, but again, the boat, there's one boat here, but it's too small in the frame to be, you know, there's two problems for me. It doesn't add scale to the scene really. Um, I mean, I think that's where you're trying to go, and it's low tide again. Wow, it's like, where's all the water? So what I'm going to do, and all of this over here on the right is kind of heavy and not that interesting. So I'm going to do a vertical. Um, oh, Neo, how are you? Just passing by, huh? A little drive by. Let's do a vertical and focus in on the boat. I don't think I need any sky. Just too many elements. We'll put the mast right on the 1/3 line and go there. And again, I think a nice desaturation would be nice. Nice soft. Just desaturate it. Needs a little bit of a tilt. And that brought back in my sky, which I don't like. See this little bit of strip of sky? I'm just trying to keep it simple. All right, that works. Let me crop it a little differently though. The boat's a little bit got moved. There. And whoops, sorry. I always like to be in the frame, you know, I'm a little bit narcissistic. Uh, this red ball here, or buoy, that's a nice little touch there. I'd like to accent that a little bit. Maybe, maybe do, let's saturate this area a little bit. Okay. And I want to color shift it a little bit to, again, I like that one color. I like this color. We just need to adjust the contrast a little bit. No, that's not going to do it. I'll just do it manually a little bit this way. Something's still not working for me here. Maybe just a little softness. Right in there. What if we cool it off a little bit? Ah, too much. Why is it so blue down there? It's got to be because of that graduated filter. Let's see how a white frame might help a little bit. Okay, I think I'm done. This might work as a black and white. Let me just check. No, I like this. I like this little red accent right here of this buoy. Uh, oh, Soft Fun, how are you? I'm glad you could make it. I think I need to tilt it back a little bit. There. Now I'm done. So just a quick before and after. So I softened it up a lot, desaturated, but I tried to keep that red buoy there with some color. I could probably touch that a little bit more, um, but it might get too strong. But I really like the colors in here, and I didn't think black and white worked, you know, quite as well. And if we compare this to the original scene, let me reset this. Here's the original image, right? That to me is like I said, this boat over here on the left facing the other way. If it was facing in towards the landscape, maybe, but because it's facing in, it just feels off to me. So that's why I went with this instead. I think this brings makes the boat the subject, and then the background is just a nice backdrop. Okay, let's see what else we got. Uh, Image writer. Oh, we have some ducks and ducklings. So yeah, we need to crop in a lot. Man, in Olympus Workspace, I'd probably just use a pop art filter. What do we use? EM10 Mark II with the kit 40 to 150. That's an awesome combination. Perfect shutter speed, -1 EV. Good job. Really perfect settings there. Well, let me rephrase that. Exactly what I would do. Oh, John Truman, how are you? Yeah, I just finished your two shots there. Hopefully you liked them. Let's see. Let's do a square crop and just come right in, get rid of all the distractions around it. Maybe put this duck in the top right thirds. Ooh, no. Let's do a 5x4. I need a little bit of a rectangle and a little tighter. Okay. A little more room on the right. All right, good. Now let's put some optical corrections in. Did I lose my crop? Ugh, I need to adjust that preset so that doesn't happen. So 5x4 and come in nice and tight. A little room on the right, a little less on the left. And I'm going to let me go in here, see if I can adjust just where these birds are. And the foreground's a little bit too bright, so I'm gonna pull this off a bit. Lower this contrast. Maybe even desaturate a bit because it's just overwhelming the ducks, I think. Okay. And if I do it too tight, I think that works. You know, just, it's still not working. It's too busy. Let's do a 3x2. Come a little bit more off the top. Okay, that's better. Then I'm going to add a vignette. Let's see if we can crank up the color a little bit. Let's work on some sharpness. Okay. There we go. That's looking better. All right, let's do a negative vignette. I'm going to go a little bit strong, but then I'm going to brighten the image up right here. Okay. I'm pretty good at these like little wildlife shots, but I'm struggling a little bit with this one. uh, maybe let's try this one. No. Yeah, I think just a simple one is best. Go outside the frame. A little bit tighter. Okay, I think I'm done. Uh, I probably have to export this to see the actual final result because I applied some deep prime processing, which sort of takes the over sharpening effect away, ironically, because I over sharpened it a bit here, but I had to do that to bring out. Yeah, it needs a little depth of field, right? I could do that here. Um, yeah, like that. That helps a little bit. But okay, let's go ahead and compare these two. So there's the before and after in terms of exposure and editing. So I saturated, brightened it up, had a little bit of a blur vignette, and also a shading vignette, and of course the white frame with black border. And if we go to the before shot, let me just reset it. This is kind of the before shot, right? Too much is around the subject, very distracting. So you just want to isolate the subject best you can. And basically, I ended up with this, right? I think let that generate a little bit. It won't be quite this sharp on the export. It looks a little over sharpened here, but it's really not. When I export it, it backs that off a little bit for me with some processing that you don't see when you're editing. But I think that looks really good. That's a nice picture now. Now the main subject is front and center, and you can see everything. Okay, but that was a good suggestion, DeMorgan. Had a little bit of blur. All right, here's Lauren. So immediately we're going to put sepia. No, just kidding. But this one, the composition is not great because again, I don't like it when the boats are pointing off the frame. And then there's this bird. What is it? A seagull, right? Oh, that's cool. So I think something nice and tight and do a vertical. So let me just do some optical corrections real quick first before I crop. And we're going to do a vertical, maybe a little bit off the bottom, not too tight. A little off the top and then come up. Yeah. There's a little canoer over there. I'm cutting them off, but I guess can't save everyone. I think what I'll do is I'll just band-aid that off. So get a little smaller brush. There. More feathering. Okay, good. And then in terms of exposure, it needs to be a little brighter overall. And let's do, I think 4x5 would be too wide because there's a lot of things in the frame to work on. But let me look at it real quick. Yeah, a little off to the left. Yeah, 4x5 might work. Let's try that. And come this way. Okay. It's a little better. A little bit more room on the left side. I like that. I just have to fix my canoe or get them out. All right, good enough. All All right, let's soften it up just a bit, just to give it a little more haze. Oops. Maybe not that much. This needs to render. So there's kind of a double. I need a little more haze, so let me try contrast. Back this off and back this off. Add some to the blacks. A little brighter. Okay. The problem I'm having, this bird is a little bit too dark in the frame. All right, I think that works. And go outside. Let me see if I pull a little color back in. Yeah, there we go. Just a hair, just a hint of color I think helps. Um, because pure black and white, it kind of works, but I think I'm gonna just throw in a hint of color right there. If everybody can see and hear me okay, hold on. Sorry, we got disconnected just for a second there. I don't know why. All right, let's do a comparison here. So there's the before and after. Again, like I said, I'm going for like softer images this week and muted colors, and I think this is a good example. And then if we if I do it full screen, I think it looks really good. It's a really nice shot. And if I reset this, you can see the before. Uh, this is yeah, this on the right side's not helping the image at all. This canoer is a little distracting. But other than that, it's really good. So that's what I tried to do. Let's look at the final edit. I think that looks a lot better. I could have done a little better job on the brushing here, but that about sums it up. Okay, let's I did that one, that one, that one. All right. Um yeah, this one here, I feel like what I'm going to do is I'm going to isolate just a couple of these geese. Again, there's just too much going on, right? So let's apply just a correction here. I'm going to turn off this filter. We're going to leave it nice and soft. A little bit of straightening. And I'm going to get rid of these houses in the background. Let's go with this right here. Maybe. Not sure I'm crazy about square. Let's do 5 by 4. I think square is it. Oh, okay, DeMorgan. I'll look for it. Um, just add a little bit more sharpening. Let's desaturate a tiny bit. Maybe not. Let's try a pastel-y kind of film look right here. Maybe Relia. Portrait is pretty reliable. Let's just warm it up a little bit. Oh, man. No, daylight's fine. I feel like I need to push. Sorry, I might be overthinking this. I don't like that. Something is off. I might have to do. Do kind of the same thing. Just pull off a little bit of saturation or something back here. No. All right. Need a little bit more in the highlights, and I'm going to call it there. Okay. If I have time, Giga, I can edit it. Uh, It's only 10:30, so I've been only at this an hour. So we'll see. Once I start hitting the 2 hour limit, though, I have to stop because I get tired. Um, so let's just do a quick before and after. That's of course cropped and everything. So again, I'm just trying to soften the colors and the atmosphere a little bit, reduce the contrast, and if we and then simplify the scene. Because if I reset this, you can see the original scene is very busy, right? I mean, it's great information. It's a lot of fun. This picture is, kind of a fun picture to have. And I would just straighten it a little, but I probably wouldn't change anything if I were to put this in my own personal photo album. But as for photo editing, if I had to edit this and try and make a postcard kind of image, I think this image here makes for a little bit more pleasing image overall. Okay, what do we have here? This is from Phil. Okay. Oh, Ruth, a 16 by 9. All right. I don't think a 16 by 9 would work on this shot because then all the birds and the ducklings would be too small. I'll just show you real quick. If I go 16 by 9 and all the editing's done, right? I mean, it might work, but I feel like let me let me just try Ruth's suggestion here. So I got everything here. I mean, that's not bad either, right? That way we have more of the ducks and they're kind of circling and framing the image. That's actually really nice too. So I think, yeah, that was a good suggestion too. I think that works, maybe even a little better than what I had. I like mine a little bit simpler, but this is a little bit closer to the original shot, right? Okay, so let's go to Phil's. Phil sent me these are the kind of images I like to call impossible mission or mission impossible because this is rough. Um, well, I mean, with all the vines and weeds and dead trees, there's I'm gonna have to isolate maybe down to just in here. What is this? This says something. Norton. Ah, no, you have to get the DxO film pack for the Fuji film simulations, Roberto. So if you get the Photolab 4 Elite, just get the whole package for like another $70. It's 200 bucks for Photolab 4 Elite, another 70 bucks to get the film pack and perspective control. I just feel like, you know, that's the only way to buy Photolab 4 Elite is just go full on, full package. It's not cheap, but I think it has a lot of nice. The film pack is really awesome. I'm gonna do a separate video on that one day, but all right, let me get to the editing here. I gotta crop some of this out. Maybe just go over here. Because even this is not that interesting. I like the lettering here though. Let me see if I can deep prime it, sharpen it. Black and white, heavy vignette. What are these advanced settings? No. Uh, let's go dark. And then just bring up the tones that I want. Nope. I want to go darker. Wow, this is a tough one, Phil. Let me straighten it out a little bit. This vignette's not very good. What if we blur vignette it? No. Soften it a little. Let's add a, nah, forget that. Let's do, see if a white border helps a little bit. A little more straightening. And crop. And one last thing. Ah, I think I'll leave it there. If I start putting too many artifacts on it, it's no longer really a picture, right? It's a painting. All right, so let's do before and after. So yeah, I cropped in a lot because there's just so many distracting elements in this image. And again, to simplify it, I just focused on one thing, and that's just this tunnel, the sewer here. And if we compare it to the full-on original, um, oh, let me reset it. As you can see, you know, there's just everything around here is just a mess. So I just went with this. I mean, there's a little bit of interest here with this line. I might have been able to do something here. But I just don't see it right now. Um, so I decided to go with that. Okay, Phil. Tough one for me. All right. This one here, you know, I previewed a lot of these before the stream and did some quick edits and thinking. But what I was thinking about this one was that this this side, you know, the idea is you want your eye kind of walks into the frame this way and goes up, right? But then this landscape over here is killing it. It's kind of just stopping you like a wall. And then if you go from right to left, this is kind of breaking the flow of the image. So I decided to pick one, right? Either if I tried to go vertical, it'd be too tight because this sticks out too far. So I decided to go with a landscape and let me just crop in. I decided to go with this, I think. And then we'll come out as much as we can. Let's do 16 by 9. Yeah. And come in right here. So, yeah, my thinking is now the eye kind of flows from this point and then comes around this way and then you walk out onto the beach. And I got rid of this other cliff on the left side so your eye doesn't just get hit with that wall. So I feel like this composition, I mean, it's just, you know, the best I could do. The composition was, this was a tough one to composite, but there was it's a beautiful scene otherwise, right? Maybe a slight thing. Yeah, and the big shadow in the foreground, there was just too much foreground and the lighting was too contrasty, right? So yeah, I got rid of the shadow in this crop. Okay, and then let me just go with some colors. We'll go, yeah, I like this. And let's soften it up a bit this way. And desaturate. And just bring in a little more contrast. And my favorite of the week, a white border. Maybe just a little more color. No, just we'll do it with contrast. We'll make that off a little bit. All right. So if we do a before and after, um, eliminate the big shadow also. Oh, sorry, yeah, that was from before. I think I did. So that's the before and after in terms of processing, and it's already cropped. And if I reset this, you can see the entire image, and we can kind of go back to my original thinking of just having the eye flow from this rock, come around, and go into the beach. Because going straight up, you kind of get hit here. Going left to right, you get hit with this. So um, that's that's how I felt about this one. Was just to go full on. I think that looks pretty good. Just a hair more contrast maybe, but I think that's not bad. Okay. Uh okay, Rahul, we'll see you later. Let's go to the next one from Amir. This is a little bit like the one with the geese or the swans, right? So I'm just going to go 16 by 9. I don't have to overthink this one. Let me apply my basic preset, and I'm going to take off this clear. Let's do a 16 by 9. Let's get rid of these guys on the left side. And then just do a simple rule of thirds, maybe a little bit more. If I can center him. Maybe put them under the thirds. Yeah, I like that better. Slight tilt this way. And reduce the saturation. Maybe add a slight blur. Yeah, that works. Let's see on the saturation. No. We'll do this and add a little vibrance just to even the colors out. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. So there is the before and after. course, crop. So I just desaturated a lot, right? And isolated down to 3. So we got rule of odds, kind of a rule of thirds. I split the scene in half, 50-50, right? 50% this mountain, 50% the meadow there. And if I reset this, this is the original image, which is really nice, but I got rid of this puddle, the road here, all of these over here, and just isolated it down to these 3 guys right here, right? So let me go back to that and look at that full screen. And I think that needs to render a little, it's a little bit of motion blur in there. That's okay. There's the full image. I think that looks good. Okay. Let's go to the next one. My God, it's 10:45. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to anything that's been submitted during the stream. Um, let's do. Is this the 7.5 millimeter? No, this is a 12 to 100 at 12 millimeter. Oh, 70 millimeters. Wow. Okay. Interesting. ISO 1000, 1500. Interesting. Wow, you could have probably went with a lot slower shutter speed and dropped your ISO a bit, but that's okay. Uh, yeah, I think a 16 by 9. Yeah, this is from Ian, Roberto. Well, let me apply my basic preset first. Yeah. So I think rather than soft, I'm going to go a little bit crispy on this one. But first, let me get it to a wide, get rid of these trees in the foreground. Maybe come in a little bit this way. Okay, and let me see if I do this. No. We'll do this and a little bit more. Here, pull in the blacks, push the highlights a little bit, maybe the midtones. And let's back off the color. What if we go full on black and white? A little bit of color. It's feeling a little bit too dark now. I need to, the top is just way too bright, relatively speaking. It's a little bit too strong. Okay. Then we'll turn to the right. Right there. Let me see. Okay, do an outside frame, maybe. Let me reframe this a little bit. Okay, and a little sharpness. A little more contrast. I'm going to just do a little brushing on these clouds. What if I just add a cool, back that off. Okay, I think I'll end it here. It needs a little bit more crop. Let me see if this works. Nope. Just needs a tiny bit more crop on the bottom. Right, right there. Okay, I think that's it. So we'll do a before and after. So yeah, I just went super crispy with this. It actually looks really good straight out of camera. Uh, but I decided to I wanted to see the details in the mountains and things. Um, and then crop in. So let me reset this. So there's the before. Honestly, that looks really good straight out of camera, even though this is a raw image. But I just I just felt like just to go in a different direction with this one, even though it's not my theme today to go soft and hazy. Uh, this is what I'm going with. It's not fully rendered, so it looks a little grainy. But if I export this to JPEG, it'll clean up really nicely, I think. Maybe I'll just do that. Let me export it, and then we'll come back to it when it's done. Okay. Um, yeah, I'm kind of with you, DeMorgan. I do like the straight out of camera uh, quite a bit. Okay, this one here has kind of the same thing going on, right? Um, there's just so much negative space, and then the one things that accent that negative space are just a little bit too far off. So I'm gonna go ahead and just crop this. I need to straighten it first. And we'll do a wide, and I'm gonna get rid of all of this negative space and just come right in. Is that horizon straight? Pretty much. Maybe a little bit straighter. Okay. Um, I wonder if I can fix this one little thing. Kind of. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to just soften it a tiny bit. And let's pull this in and pull this in and brighten it. And then we'll pull the colors back. No, I like the blue. I just want it to be a little more pastel-y. So maybe some tweaks here. Let's try. Oops, let's try let me just look at portrait real quick. Nah, let's go back to this. I like this one. Color implosion. I can try a Fuji, but Relia, the Fujis are good with reds and greens, and there's no reds and greens in this. Uh, you see what I mean? It's not really Fuji Pro. So it's okay. I think the Fujis are better when you have reds and greens like landscapes and forests, you know, but with clouds and ocean, I've never been. How about Agfa Ultra Color? That's not bad. I like that Ultra Color a little better. It's a little more punchy. Um, and then a white frame and I'm done. So outside. No, let's stay inside. It's okay. All right, so that's my edit there. I think there's the before, there's the after. So it's very subtle changes to the the image processing. It's mainly just in the crop here because if I reset this, this is the original image, right? It's just too much negative space without really any interesting accents on its own. So I decided to let's go back to my edit. I think this makes for a nice edit. Oh, the softness doesn't look good here. So let me take the softness off. All right, let's go back. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, it may not be obvious on a live stream, but the softness was kind of killing it a little bit. But I think, the clouds and the water make for a nice backdrop. And the clouds, since there's very smooth clouds at the top and the water is very ripply, it's very windy. And also because this one boat now kind of adds to that story that it's a very windy day. And I think before you couldn't really see that. It was just too much, right? So this isolates it nicely, I think. Okay. Um, but yeah, it's a nice image. Let's go to. Oh, thanks, Demorkin. You like that one? You didn't like the last one, but you like that one. That's cool. Yeah, me too. I really think the straight out of camera on that other mountain, that was really nice. Uh, and this is similar actually. This is PenF. Oh, all right, a PenF with a 12 to 40 Pro, ISO 800, 1.2. Wow, it's really bright. I mean, even if we take this down 2 stops, we're still at 1/800th of a second at f9. Golly, that's a bright day. And we have some God rays coming in, but the sun is blown out. So let's just focus here. I mean, the God rays are nice when you actually have a point of light that you can see that they're coming from, but or going through clouds, but just the way it is, I don't think it works. But it's making beautiful light. Everything below that is really nice and good contrast. Uh, but this tree's cut off here. These two trees would be nice. I like how they're touching each other and kind of reaching for each other like this. But then that one tree's cut off. So I'm gonna focus, and this one's way cut off. So I'm just gonna focus right here. And let's try 5 by 4 and see where that gets us. Okay, I can live with that. We need a little bit. Let me put my preset back and recrop this as a 5 by 4. Okay, that kind of works. Let's back off some of the color. Turn this off. Let me. The colors are okay, but I feel like, yeah, the black and white looks better to me. I can bring a little bit back in, maybe. No, let's stay full on black and white this time. But I need the image to be maybe a little brighter. Less contrasty. Right there. And I kind of lost a little bit here. This needs a little more contrast, actually. If we do it this way. Let me see if I can just do it, whoops, just the highlights. Yeah, and a little bit in the midtones. Okay, and go a little brighter. Okay. I think that's it. Let's add a white border on the outside. There we go. I got mixed feelings about this top corner. Let me do. What if I. A little bit of contrast. All right. Nah, let's get rid of that. Less contrast. Okay. Yeah, I didn't like this top right corner being a little bit too dark, so I just brightened it up. But there we go. Um, if we do a quick comparison, I mean, I kind of like this colors here, but I don't know. Let me just see what the colors are again. Now that I did all the tone adjustments, it kind of works, but I think the black and white's more dramatic. So there's the color um, with all my tone adjustments, which isn't bad, but I just kind of prefer the black and white this way. I think that's a little nicer. And then if we do a reset and look at the full-on original. So there's the original. Yeah, these I would have liked these trees to be in the shot, but because I love it when trees are kind of touching each other like that, right? Kind of reaching out and helping each other out. But yeah, this this would be my final edit. But yeah, I'm kind of with you, Soft Fun. I think it and the Morgan. Yeah, the colors. Yeah, all I have to do is turn this off, right? I think this looks just as good, really. Um, yeah, yeah. Come to think of it, I like this better too. I think you guys are right. All right, was that the last one? Yeah, so that was the last one. So, wow, some really great images today. Hopefully I did it justice to some extent. A lot of different preferences today in terms of crop and colors and lighting. But let's go ahead and look at the image that I gave you guys um, here in the viewer edits. And the original image was not that great, right? Um, let me see if I can pull up the original. What was what was the image number? 13M number 156. So way down here. Oh yeah, I'll get yours. Sorry. Let me pull up the original and then I'll get your image, DeMorcan. 153. So oh this is my edit. But let me reset this so you can see the original. So here's the original image. It's kind of soft and the colors are just kind of washed out and ugly, I think. So basically what I did is I cropped in and I muted the colors. And that this was my edit. I normally like to show mine last, but since I'm here, this was my edit. And then this was the original, right? It's kind of blah, I thought. But there are some interesting elements to it, right? I love the soft tones back here in the background and stuff. But okay, let's go to your edits. Let me grab the Morkins real quick. Where is that? Let me see if I can find it. RT. Oh, Hugh Perry. Wow, there's a bunch in here. John Allen sent one. Here's the Morkins. Uh, Another John Allen one. I'll have to get to those next time. All right, so here is oh, this is nice. This is the Morkins edit. So you didn't you didn't crop in at all, but I think you did a great job with the colors and softening up the image. It's really nice. Yeah, the the tones up here in the clouds and everything. Yeah, this is nice. I would have just probably cropped. I don't like these trees in the bottom that got framed in. Um, but I really like everything up in here. Okay, let's see. This is another one. Yeah, this one's cropped a little bit more like I like it, but then this is an interesting edit here from Hugh. Wow, these colors. It's like a yellow pink or something. That's what's throwing me off. But it's different, right? I mean, we all have a different vision for a scene. So I like that part of it. And really good processing on the skies and bringing those in and the mountains. So there's a lot more clarity here. It's just this tint. I don't know, like this lime green tint I'm not crazy about. But that's not probably totally your fault either, right? Because the colors that were originally there were kind of not right either. So I ended up desaturating in my edit everything. But okay, very nice. Thanks for doing that. And then oh, we saw that one. This is the Morgan, and these are yeah, these are ones I'll have to edit these next time. Maybe next week. I won't delete these. I'll keep all those in there. Okay, let's go to the rest of the viewer edits here. And we'll start here in the top with Ian. I can get rid of the editing. Oh, that's interesting. So you kept the 4:3 crop, but you went up to the top right corner. So Ian didn't like all those trees in the foreground either, right? That were there. I totally get that. That's the only thing I didn't like about that image. I mean, not the only thing, but that was the major problem for me was all the trees in the foreground. Let's see what else we got here. Where's the fit to screen? Well, wow, look at these colors. This magenta or purple coming in. That's interesting. Who did this one? Is it Control I? Yeah. Oh, John Follows. That's interesting, John. It's a little bit like Hughes, right? He kind of went with kind of a lime greenish, kind of yellow. Now you're kind of going magenta. Yeah, okay. Interesting. See what else we got. This one is from Image Writer. Okay. Nice edit, nice clean edit. Very contrasty and really you brought the clouds in, but no cropping at all. So it seems like a lot of you guys actually like that foreground with the trees. I thought I liked it too when I took the picture, but then when I got it home and looked at it, I just didn't like that foreground. But maybe it is actually a nice element of the scene to have that in the foreground because it looks like a lot of you left that in. Yeah, the warm sky here works. I agree, DeMorgan. That that works here. Good dramatic skies. Okay, let's go to oh yeah, this is my edit. So I didn't like the colors at all in that image. And so I just desaturated and softened everything. So that's my edit there. Uh, oh, see, somebody else is on the same page as me, right? Just desaturate the heck out of it. This feels like a Lauren edit for some reason. Maybe because of the sepia tones. So yeah, you kind of went sepia, some vignette, and kept all the softness and maybe added a little bit of softness. You know, the contrast is definitely lower. So this is a nice edit too. Who did this one? Oh, Joni. Okay, Joni, nice. All right. Yeah, DeMorgan's saying foreground, midground, background, and sky for landscape. That's what I thought, I think, when I framed it originally, right? You know, this foreground, all this midground here, and then background here is the sky. But it just, when I got it home, somehow this part just still didn't work for me. But okay, like I said, a lot of you seem to like that foreground, so could be just me. Oh, what is this? This is like an oily painting. That's cool. I like that. Can I come in just a little bit larger? Yeah. I bet DeMorgan did this. Let me see. Oh, Joni again. God, I'm way off. I don't know why I would have said DeMorgan. Yeah, this is cool. I like the pink sky on this one with the greens. Those colors, obviously they're complementary type colors, but and now the foreground works a little better for some reason because it's less busy. They're kind of smudged with this oil paint effect. Oh, a lot of different software does this. I think Photoshop definitely, maybe Photoscape. I don't think Photolab does this at all, but Photoscape and Photoshop definitely. Yeah, really nice. I love the color treatment here, and and the oil painting effect is a nice touch. But what's impressing me the most here is the color. Oops. Okay, and this one is a straight up edit. Now this is clean. You fixed all of the weird colors and got it to look a lot more natural and brought a lot of details back. So this is an excellent edit technically in terms of keeping it clean. You didn't go artsy fartsy at all, right? You just wanted to capture uh, the scene as clean as possible and represent exactly what we would have seen with our own eyes. Or this is actually a little better than I would have seen. Uh, this is better than what I was seeing even with my own eyes. And now I can see there's a little bit of pink up here, so maybe that was there originally. But in any case, this is a great edit. Yeah, super sharp edit, right? Who did this one? Oh, DeMorgan. Okay, wow, DeMorgan. You're on a roll today. Um, yeah, this is yeah, the little gap on the right. Yeah, I get that. I'm with you there. That was probably the other part of the problem. But when I took this picture, I was kind of standing on a rock that felt, I was standing right in front of these trees. And when you see the tops of trees, that means there's a pretty good cliff or drop from where I was standing. So, I was thinking about more than composition. I was thinking about, my own life here when I took this picture. But, I was trying not to lose my balance and fall off the edge of this rock. Not that I would have went very far. One of the trees would have stopped me. But all the same, uh, it was a little uneven ground. Oh, okay, this is interesting. Wow, okay, got rid of all this sky up here and just went right. I like this crop. This is like a really good crop. If you're gonna go with a square crop and then this oil painting kind of effect softening up, maybe it's a water more, it looks more watercolory to me, but this works. I like this. I just noticed there's a little bit of farmland down in here. I'm gonna have to work this scene next time I go out here. This place is only a couple hours from me. It's the Shenandoah Mountains. But yeah, this is a nice edit. Let's see who did this one. Oh, DeMorgan again. Man, you are on it. You really saw a lot of different ways to do this. Ellie would have said, oh, she wasn't with me that day, actually, because I was out with the photo club. So I don't generally bring Ellie with me on the photo clubs. Oh, nice 16 by 9. A little bit harsh on the colors because they're just kind of blotchy, but other than that, this is interesting edit. Very crisp. Scott Mumford, okay. Interesting. I'm not sure what's going on with these psychedelic skies. That's the only thing that doesn't seem to go with the rest of the image. If the rest of the image was kind of blotchy and psychedelic, I think this would be more interesting. But the way it is now, it looks like uh, you're going for two different effects at the same time. But yeah, okay. Interesting. Yeah, you can see the branches, definitely. He saturated the reds a lot, or purples. And that's what happened to the sky. So maybe a graduated filter to kind of reduce the saturation up there. And then this would have been a little cleaner, I think. Okay, and now obviously it's the same Scott again. I don't know, I thought I saw Scott here earlier. But anyway, this works a little better because there's a little bit of blotchiness, but that's okay because it's muted now because there's no colors, right? It's basically, this is a great edit. And I really like how you can see all the farmland in here. And then the foreground's been kind of mostly cropped out down here, all this stuff that was useless. So I like this. This is a great edit here. And yeah, I agree, DeMore. Desaturate the reds a little and it'd be just right, right? Um, wow, another one. Crisp edit, but this cool, it's a very cold image, right? Because all the blues and greens. But yeah, so it seems like we equally have people doing 16 by 9s and getting rid of some of the foreground, and then other people doing full on, keep the foreground in full force. So yeah, this is a good clean edit, nice and crisp. I'm not crazy about the cool tones though. I feel like because we've been looking at so many reds and warmer tones up to this point. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, let's see. This I bet is John Truman. I knew it. All right. I mean, I can see where you're going. I'm not crazy about the cool tones, but other than that, the processing's really good. And it's subjective, obviously. All right. So DeMorcan, this is an image with all the reds desaturated, basically, right? What the heck? This has got to be Dave Nelson. There's one other person that always that always does these composites, but what is that in the middle? Some kind of, it's like an observation tower with some bird feeders hanging off or something. Okay. But everything around it, the processing basically just cleaned it up a little bit, right? And instead of cropping the foreground out, you crop the sky out. Well, that's cool. Who did this? Randy? Oh my God, I would have never guessed. All right, Randy. This must be an observation tower out where you live or something. Because we don't have anything like that out here. Oh, no, I don't think it's from the Tom Cruise film. I know which one you're talking about. Because look at these shutters, and this is weird. I don't know what this thing is. But the windows are very, sort of current day. Okay. Oh, you were thinking Star Wars. Oh, yeah, the one with the Ewoks and stuff, right? Yeah, I got you. Okay, Randy. I see where you're going with this. I can see that now. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Um, Masking the background took 2 hours. Holy crap. Oh man, I can't believe that took that long, but okay. This is a nice edit. I like the crop. You know, this is probably a 5 by 4, and you muted the colors, which I like. So this is very close to something I may have done, sort of right up my alley. This is Surge. Okay, Surge, nice, nice edit, Surge. Very clean, clean and muted and soft. I like it, and the crop is really good too. And this looks like one of my edits. Let me check. Okay, Marcel. Wow. You know, when I was doing different variations of this image, I came up with something very similar to this where I crushed the blacks in the foreground and then tried to keep the midtones in the center. But yeah, this is a nice edit. It's surprisingly close to one edit that I did before of this same image. Um, but yeah, nice. This looks like, I think, yeah, this has got to be Marcel again because the crop's exactly the same, meaning there's no crop, but yeah, I see you're going for this blue moonlighty kind of look. I don't know why I don't like blue. Like I said, it's just a personal thing, but I just didn't like blue in this scene. But it's kind of the same thing, right? This image here is a black and white version of this image, basically. And this image is just with really strong shift to the blues. So, okay. Yeah, yeah, I knew, yeah, that's Marcel. Um, okay, let's go to the next one. Or that's the last one, it looks like. Blue and green shall never be seen. That's funny. No, blue and greens can go together. Uh, for this scene here, I just didn't work for me. Uh, you know, there's a whole color science thing for blues and greens, you know, mixing colors that aren't normally complementary. But anyhow, uh, that's way beyond anything I can talk about. But yeah, lots of great edit, guys. I appreciate that. It really helps me a lot to see how you guys edit my image and, you know, get some creative ideas flowing. Uh, where's my, not this one, this one. But we're gonna call it there. 'Cause yeah, it's exhausting. You know, I spent some time editing some of the images before the stream started so I could get through them a little faster, and I think I did, hopefully. So I'm gonna try and do that more often where I look at the images beforehand and try and, because up till now I'd been just downloading them right before the stream and then editing on the fly. But I felt like I came up with little better edits if I spent a little more time beforehand and looked at them. And it speeds the stream along a little bit as well. But as always, I really appreciate you guys editing my image. There's some great edits there. So good stuff, like Randy said, all kinds of good stuff. Yeah, Gigafish, it's a little too late. Oh, wait, you mean if you edited my picture, let's take a quick look. Uh, yeah, here's one. Here's one from Gigafish. Oh, wait, you can't see that. 3, there we go. Here's one from Gigafish last minute. This is another one. Doesn't look like there was any crop at all. And the same kind of idea, right? This very strong shift to blues and greens. And that's interesting. I'll have to look at these again because John Truman did this, and now you're doing it, and there was a couple others where the blues and greens were really emphasized. I'll have to go back and consider these images, give these images a little more consideration because my first when I first looked at them, I just kind of wrote them off like this is nothing I would do, right? But that's what I mean. It's always helpful to see how other people edit the scene, and a lot of people went with kept kept the composition the same as I framed it when I took the shot originally. Um, so I'm just curious. I'll have to analyze these a little bit, but in any case, uh, I think we'll call it here. You guys did a great job and sending those images in and editing mine as well. I will try and get back to doing these at least once a week, because I used to do them 3, 4 times a week, but I can only handle about one a week now. But I always enjoy it, editing your images and seeing what you guys do with mine. So thanks for that, and I'll be back, I think, on Sunday. This may be the last Sunday live stream I do. I may switch to a weekday after that. But thanks again, and we'll see you guys again on Sunday.